Franchise.
Get in like the Marines.
Franchise.
Yeah.
Franchise.
We're in.
Franchise. Franchise the damn thing.
And now, a scene from Batman Forever.
Why? Why can't I kill you? Too many questions. Too many questions.
Poor Edward. I had to save them both. You see, I'm both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Not because I have to be, now because I choose to be.
Welcome to Franchise Addicts, a podcast covering every film in a given franchise. My name is Luke.
And I'm Chris.
And this week we are on to the third film in the Batman franchise, Batman Forever.
And ever.
And ever.
And ever, it's a bit of a departure from the Burton films. Yeah, we'll get to our opinions. It is quite the neon explosion of 90s pop culture in your face. He's going to go through the drive-thru.
I love that line really kicks this movie off with the direction that it's going to go.
Commercialism.
So this movie has a fun little backstory to it. So Schumacher and Burton were friends. And Burton was definitely not going to come back to do a third movie. Schumacher, because they were friends, got asked to do it and was hesitant. He's like, I don't want to get it up on Burton. And Burton basically gave him his blessing. Schumacher takes over. And then the Burton haters came out from the production side, and everyone was like, the first two movies, way too dark, especially Returns. Kids were turned off on it. Parents of kids didn't like it.
Yeah.
There's all these like daily talk show clips of it being like, it's so sexualized and the
So
violence.
dark. It's not for kids. It's for McDonald's, but it's not for kids. What's going on?
And so Schumacher was specifically told, let's make this one for the kids. And he obliged.
He sure obliged. Young kids.
He upped the camp in this movie to 11, and that's why we get the hazy, bright, shiny, crazy film that this is. But it's still got a little Schumacher darkness in it. If you've seen any other Joel Schumacher movies, you do know that he is capable of making a dark, creepy, like not goofy movie. So this movie, 1995, director Joel Schumacher, written by the power writing couple of Lee and Janet Batchelor.
Oh man, the Bachelor duo.
This movie was nominated for 3 Academy Awards.
Oh, facepalm.
Cinematography, a big one.
We love those diagonal shots, baby.
Sound and sound editing.
I guess. It's no zone of interest.
This had a budget of $100 million.
Yeah.
Highest budget so far. Mm-hmm. And raked in a worldwide total of $336 million.
Yeah, I mean, commercial success was the aim, and it's not surprising that they achieved it. It does what it's supposed to do.
So, Chris, before we get into talking about the movie, would you like to introduce the first guest in Franchise Addicts history?
The first ever guest on the show. I am very, very, we are both very, very excited to have one of the oldest friends I have. He's the bass player in my band, Super Opus.
Your band? Our band.
Yeah, our band.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Freudian slip. Yeah, in a band that I am in. He's a Batman Forever enthusiast. Nick Danola. How you doing, Nick?
Great, thank you. Yeah, I don't have any other credentials, I guess, other than being enthusiast of this movie.
That's it.
I just want to clarify, too, first and foremost, an enthusiast of Val Kilmer.
Okay.
Val Kilmer as Batman in this movie.
Okay.
Just Val Kilmer.
In general.
I love me some Val.
What's your favorite Val Kilmer performance?
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is a maybe not a deep cut. It's a movie I watched a ton as a kid that I assume was like on heavy rotation everywhere, and I later found out wasn't. But Willow,
Oh, wow.
Mad Mardigan.
What a wild favorite role.
Well, again, it's like a lot of childhood connection for me,
Yeah.
and that's a George Lucas written movie. A lot of people don't realize.
I did know that.
And to me, Mad Mardigan, his character in that film, is very much it's like a Han Solo type character. He's like the reluctant good guy. He's kind of a scoundrel, but has a heart of gold and ends up like coming through and aiding the protagonist hero on his quest in a pretty indispensable way. But he's funny. He's the funniest part of that movie. And that was my introduction to him. So that's like when you say Val Kilmer, what pops in my head first as an image is him carrying a sword in Willow.
Okay. Yeah, I had an opposite reaction. My mom tried to make me watch that movie a bunch. I think we covered this in our early friendship in high school, that I was not a Willow fan, and you were a huge Willow fan. And
I'm not saying like it's a great film. It's just something, one of those films I watched a lot as a kid and I have a special emotional attachment to. And
that's how I have for Batman '89. The listeners, I geeked out on that, and it was so.
And I assume. You're probably most familiar with Kilmer from The Doors, because I know you're a Doors fan. Jim Morrison, Oliver Stone.
Yeah. No, that was a big one. I don't know. He was just ever present in all kinds of things when I was growing up, including this run.
The
Saint.
This run that he goes on right before, so starting with Top Gun in '86, he's got Top Gun, he's got Willow, he's got The Doors. He shows up in True Romance. His biggest, probably his most famous movie, Tombstone, where he plays Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
Beer Huckleberry.
That's a good one.
He then hits Batman Forever and comes right off Batman Forever in the same year and is in Heat.
Oh, yeah.
Which rules. That movie rules. I wish there was 3 Heat movies so we could do Heat in the franchise.
The Heat, Heat's great.
And then his career kind of goes off the rails because he then, in 1996, is in the movie The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Ooh, that's a great movie to talk about.
Great, bad, terrible.
It's a great, bad movie.
Killer.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I've listened to podcasts on that movie. It is a wild.
And he had The Saint shortly after then, which was good. But my recollection was I guess I'd say similar to like Ed Norton, got a reputation for being very difficult to work with.
Yes.
Really?
So Schumacher in this movie, him and Kilmer did not get along at all. And Schumacher said his favorite thing about Batman and Robin, the movie we'll be covering next week, that Schumacher also said totally doesn't work and sucks. He's proud of Forever, thinks Batman and Robin sucks. He says his favorite thing about Batman and Robin is that Kilmer is not in it.
Ooh, wow. Interesting. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think the movie is better for Kilmer not being in it.
No, I don't think Clooney adds much to that movie.
No.
He's, to me, he was always more in like the Adam West, like Hollywood leading man.
Yeah.
But not the depth. And to me, I think what makes Kilmer, in my opinion, the best pre-Christopher Nolan Batman is really like the combined skill set, right? So you got a guy, I wouldn't call him a comedic actor, but he's got good comedic timing. His first big role was Real Genius, comedic role.
Top Secret right after that.
Yeah. So he's got good comedic timing, kind of maybe not on par with Michael Keaton, but not far behind him.
Yeah.
He's got, kind of that darkness of a Christian Bale. He's got that depth to him.
I think I was going to talk about this later, but since you brought up Bale, with the cowl, the Batman cowl on, they look very similar. There's a look to them.
Yeah.
And so like if you just took stills from the 2 movies, you could get confused between Kilmer in the Batman suit and Bale.
Okay.
And I think they both go to a similar place vocally. They kind of get that. Bale's another level.
Yeah,
Bale goes very far.
Yeah, But I think Kilmer certainly does that way more than Clooney or...
I think they play
Keaton.
Bruce Wayne similarly too.
Yeah.
As kind of a very smooth talking, very
Slick back hair, real.
yeah. But like kind of with a like almost autistic, like I never have been in real social situations before.
Yeah, like a little tinge of American Psycho without the murderous elements. Just, hi, okay, Edward. That's great.
You know, and it's funny you say that. I wonder if that's organic because, again, Bale, another guy, famously doesn't get along well with others.
No, not at all.
Similar to Val Kilmer.
See the Terminator Salvation clip.
Yeah, so... But no, I agree. I think, for me, again, I see Kilmer as having little pieces of all the other actors who played Batman. And last point I was going to make, too, is he does... I think in a traditional sense, also have that sort of George Clooney leading man looks, right?
He does.
Yeah.
Tall, dark, and handsome. Like you buy him as a millionaire playboy.
More than Michael Keaton.
Yeah, more than Keaton.
Christian Bale's in the same neighborhood.
I don't know. I think Val Kilmer's a little hunkier than
Okay.
Christian Bale.
Sure.
Especially early 90s Kilmer is on fire.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay.
hey,
Hey.
I you know think of the
Game
Doors,
recognized game.
the Doors poster with the shirt off.
Oh,
It's
man.
Jim Morrison with his arms across is a sexual icon.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
afraid to get ugly though. Gets a little ugly in Heat. Definitely uglied up in Tombstone.
Yeah.
Again, a la Christian Bale.
Yeah.
You know, he did. What was that movie where he like?
The Machinist,
yeah,
where he
with,
lost
like 70
him.
pounds.
Yeah.
That's gross.
It was. And he gained a bunch of weight for that American Hustle. Is that what it's called?
Yes,
Yeah.
American Hustle.
Yeah.
David O. Russell's
Yeah.
failure of a movie.
Yeah, that guy went off a cliff.
After Silver Linings Playbook, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
made that movie right after.
Yeah, but no, I think he's definitely got a lot of that Bale DNA, very serious kind of method acting. I do appreciate the fact is you kind of kicked off here, right? The plan for this movie was to be a little bit more cartoon, a little bit more popcorn, kids friendly movie. Maybe this wasn't the right Batman movie for Val Kilmer. I don't think that negates the fact that he is like, first round draft pick for actors to play Batman.
I totally agree.
Oh.
I think if you take 90s Kilmer and slot him into the Christian Bale role, those movies are just as good.
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
Or better yet, imagine him. I'll give you the first Batman with Keaton is iconic, but
Sure.
Batman Returns with Val Kilmer. I think
If
that works
Burton,
really well.
if Burton gave Batman anything to do in that movie,
Yeah, so we talked about the fact that Batman in general is a boring character, and as is Bruce Wayne, and it's all. I mean, that's why it's every movie except for the Joker, except for the first one, it's like 2 villains, maybe 3. Let's pile on the villains. They are crazy. They are cartoons to 11, at least in the Joel Schumacher ones, and they're always exciting and. They are the personality. They are what they put the butts in the seats. They are the exciting part. Batman, he's got gadgets. He's good. He gets a hot girlfriend and he's got the love interest. And that's it. He's kind of he takes care of things. He is not flashy. He is not giving any of these villains a run for their money as far as excitement.
No, he's the straight man.
He is the straight man.
And I thank God in this movie because you have 2 very strong performers just in terms of their over the topness.
A little flamboyant, yeah.
Yeah, with both Carey in his comedic way and Tommy Lee Jones and his
Finding a brand new comedic thing that
well, there's a fun history with those two.
they hated each other.
Yeah, and they hated each other because Tommy Lee Jones, I forget what the name of the movie was, but he had a movie that came out the same weekend as Jim Carrey's Dumb and Dumber. And Dumb and Dumber just absolutely destroyed the box office. And Tommy Lee Jones' movie just never recovered. And so Tommy Lee Jones was pissed at Jim Carrey for that. Because obviously Tommy Lee Jones thinks he's a better actor than Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And I think the movie he was supposed to be in was his first foray into kind of comedy. And when you run into the machine that was Jim Carrey in the 90s,
Oh, yeah, you're going down.
There's no way. And so I think this entire movie, Tommy Lee Jones is just like shaking his head at how goofy and how like to 11 Jim
And then he
Carrey's
turns
going.
around and tries to do the exact same
Yeah.
thing.
Even though the Harvey Dent character should be far more subdued, far more troubled, like he's a split personality, and the one side of him, the Harvey Dent side, should be like so conflicted with what his evil side is trying to do. And instead of like showing that at all in the performance, Tommy Lee Jones is just like, let's just crank it up.
He's just a cartoon animal.
That anecdote makes me like Tommy Lee Jones less. It sounds petty to me. I mean, it's not like Jim Carrey decided when his movie was going to come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, come on, you're Tommy Lee Jones. Right?
Yeah.
Why are you insecure about
They all have egos.
Yeah.
And maybe it was like isn't he in Man of the House? Or he's in I bet it was some horrible, this is my foray into comedy.
This performance to me, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Under Siege.
Yes.
This is very close to his villain character in Under Siege if he was also trying to be even goofier. But that performance in Under Siege is
Amazing.
out of bounds. Like, it's crazy, but it's like
So
the
good.
perfect amount of crazy. This is way too much.
This is a little much.
Oh my God! If you ever, I know it's not a franchise. If you ever do Under Siege, you got to bring me back. I love that movie.
I love that.
and
I've never seen it.
you've
Really?
never seen Under Siege?
No!
It's like the one watchable Steven Seagal movie,
Okay.
and it is like in a weird way one of the best Tommy Lee Jones performances.
Yeah,
You're
well-
right, totally cartoonish and over the top, but I think similar to this, right? Like Steven Seagal is like so boring and monotone and just
Yes.
gonna Steven Seagal. Like he makes the movie.
What happened with Under Siege is it got like a halfway decent director for those types of movies, and then brought in like Academy Award winner Tommy Lee Jones to be the villain. And then Seagal just doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be in his own kind of world and let the director and the villain just take control of the movie. And it works so well because of it.
And you get Gary Busey in a dress.
Gary Busey, Busey is
Busey in drag.
insane
Wow.
in that movie.
Just for one scene.
Busey is the straight man, like the straight man bad guy in that movie.
Wow, that's all you need to say.
Little bit of a detour, but I totally get that connection.
Yeah.
And agree that it oddly works better in Under Siege than it does in this. And yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on Tommy Lee Jones's version of Two-Face versus is it
Aaron Eckhart
later?
Yeah.
Not to jump ahead and step on your future podcast.
I mean, Eckhart's way better.
Yeah, it's a grounded actual performance.
He does what I talked about, what Tommy Lee Jones should be doing in this movie, where he actually plays both sides of the character, whereas Tommy Lee Jones is just like, I'm gonna play just the Two-Face insane side, and we'll talk.
Hey, everybody.
We'll use the script to talk about the other side of me, the side that you should feel sorry for. But
well, that's what I was going to ask. Do you think that's all the performance? Do you think what's on the page? 'Cause
I don't think they wanted deep.
Yeah.
They didn't want
this being more of
depth.
the like popcorn movie versus the later Batman's being a little bit more deep and thoughtful.
as we move forward through this movie, I'm going to say the intention of this was to be not as campy as it ended up turning out to be. I think they kind of asked for it in a lot of ways, because they asked Jim Carrey to be a part of this movie, who was on his 90s run, and if you ask for the Carrey experience, you're gonna get the Carrey experience.
Yeah.
And there is nothing serious about the Riddler in this movie. They just unleash Carrey and just let him do whatever he wants. I think, like we talked about, I think Tommy Lee Jones is then trying to match that, and it's bad for it. Kilmer stays back and just lets it all happen, but Kilmer's kind of in his own movie in this, and he's in the better part of this movie, which is like the confliction between Bruce Wayne and Batman, and who he's supposed to be. I think we get one of the better versions of his parents dying, and his conflicted nature about being responsible for their death or not being responsible.
I felt like that had no place in this movie.
I know, like I said, it's in another movie.
Yeah, it's just like, why are we getting so serious about the psyche of Bruce Wayne? I guess, well, because Nicole Kidman's a psychologist, whatever. It feels very out of place. And like, why are you trying to put serious stuff into this movie where they are, pelvic swinging into bombs and blowing up and things like that?
Yeah, so let's get into the movie proper. So it starts off with the big helicopter bank heist scene, big action piece. I had been critical about the action set pieces that Burton had in the first two movies. Do you think that Schumacher improves the action in this movie at all?
So hold on real quick. Just gotta say, the intro where they zoom the letters of the characters in is really bad.
Yeah, I may be already showing my hand defending this movie, skipping over the terrible title sequence.
It is bad. It's like, whoa, Jim Carey. It's in 3D letters. It's like an After Dark screensaver.
It was of its time.
It was.
That was cutting edge. Like
whoa.
It does look like the 95 screensaver, Windows 95 screensaver.
Yeah. Whoa. It's so cool. Okay, so we just had to get that out. Yeah, it's a nice. I mean, the safe is a decent action set piece, but I loved the action set pieces from Batman for the Tim Burton ones, as you of course recall. I had no problem with those. I thought those were cool. The I'm gonna say that a lot of this stuff sucks, in my opinion, as far as. But the safe is cool. The safe is cool.
Yeah, I mean, the worst part of the safe is the guard that's stuck in with him, and he's just saying the stupidest lines of all time.
It's something...
Boiling acid.
Boiling acid! I know what that is.
I think that all acid is boiling in its own way, so I don't know why he had to double down on that.
Yeah.
I think the point of acid is it doesn't matter what temperature it is.
Yeah, exactly. It can be...
Lukewarm acid!
Yeah. Oh, no.
I think
so. I'll make my defense for the action being a little bit better in this movie in particular. I think it's edited a little bit better. I think the pyrotechnics, the stuff that they're able to surround the action with, just looks a little bit better, and it's bigger than what Burton tries to do with some of his action stuff in the first two movies. I think the fighting choreography is a lot better
with the S&M goons.
Yeah, I mean, there's
all
more, goofy.
They do more of it a little. It's a little bit of a step up.
But I think that, Burton isn't going to necessarily jump you into an action scene. He kind of does in Return with the Christmas scene after the Max Shrek speech. But this movie immediately jumps you in on action. And I think Schumacher is... I think he's a little bit more confident what he's going to bring to the screen with the action.
Yeah, there's more of a focus. Sometimes there's scenes that have no explanation, and all of a sudden you're just in the middle of action. So it does more of there's definitely more of a effort to have action.
I just feel like this is more of an action movie, whereas the first two were Tim Burton movies with action scenes.
Yeah, with and character pieces, like weird...
And there's always this like weird sort of aesthetic. There's that Tim Burton aesthetic. It's different, but similar in its omnipresence to like Wes Anderson, where it's like, you kind of know when you're watching a Tim Burton movie, and that seeps into the action scenes. This is just like, you could tell they're hiring great stunt people, great pyrotechnics. Like this is like a professional blockbuster. You mentioned highest budget. I think the action scenes is where you see
and the
that
set
extra money
too. The set is great. These were bigger sets than what Burton used. They spent more money on them. Like everything in this movie from a visual standpoint is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean Joel Schumacher's not an auteur director. And Joel Schumacher was like, you want me to do this thing? You want me to make a commercial movie that's going to have this, it's going to have that, it's going to have action. So he's just doing those things, which I mean to his to say it works. It does. He does those things, and Burton is going to be a little more subdued and deliver more of his vision. And I don't know if Schumacher had a huge vision outside of a lot of neon lights and.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this almost feels like it could be like a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, honestly, I got those two confused for years in my life. It just kind of like they make big studio movies.
I mean,
but Joel Schumacher, I think, just does the Batman movie. Does he do any other big studio movies?
So I mean, after this, he does. Let's see what we got here from Schumacher. So he does Batman and Robin next, obviously. He then goes into a great movie, in my opinion, 8mm with Nick Cage.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I haven't, actually.
That movie's wild. He then does Phone Booth with Colin Farrell. That's more of an action movie.
Yeah, not huge, but it's not bad.
He's got Phantom of the Opera. That's a big scale, costume drama.
Yeah.
And what else? Yeah, so before Batman, he does Flatliners, which I think is his kind of bigger...
A Flatline sesh?
Well,
yeah.
I'm looking at this too. Falling Down.
Oh, yeah. People, that was in that YouTube thing you sent me. If you want to see a good version of Batman Begins, just check out Falling Down or something like that.
I mean, that is a great movie.
It is a good one.
I remember winning some awards and
I think his most beloved movie now from history is probably The Lost Boys.
Sure. Falling Down's big too.
Yeah. A lot of young...
But he did more. He did more serious. So maybe he's not.
Bay is action, like huge action.
Yeah, Schumacher's definitely a little more rounded and measured. I see he did St. Elmo's Fire early in his career.
Wow.
A Time to Kill. Is that the one with the famous Samuel Jackson line?
I do hope they die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I like that movie too.
It's a good one. I mean, it's Matthew McConaughey is sweating the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, he's in the Deep South. It's hot
in the
down
Deep
there.
South.
It's hot.
No,
Yeah.
that's a good one actually.
Yeah. Well, and just a quick side too. We're talking about the over the topness of Tommy Lee Jones and the Riddler in this one. Wouldn't it be awesome if we get Samuel L. Jackson in a Batman movie?
He was in Die Hard. He had his own over the top thing.
Yeah.
People love him in the third Die Hard.
That's my favorite Die Hard movie too.
That is a lot of.
Maybe I just like the third
movie.
movies.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a little feel for Tommy Lee Jones, who gets introduced very early into this movie.
Yes, oh, happy day. Farewell forever to that pointy-eared night rat.
So that
is a cartoon
Tommy Lee
character.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yep, he's going
It's just
for it.
if you think of this as a cartoon, especially with the villains, it's like, okay, fine. If it's an animated cartoon, it would work just great.
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of Batman the animated series.
I did.
So I don't exactly remember how Two-Face was portrayed in that. Was he more this style or more of the Nolan style?
I don't remember, but I don't actually remember. I watched a lot after school, but I probably a little more subdued. But it's just taking those villains as just like they are cartoons. The things that they say are what cartoons say. No actual person says what they say.
So the interesting part of the villains in this movie compared to the last two is both of these villains, I think, moved forward by the Two-Face character, is they want to kill Batman. I don't think the villains from the past, I don't think the Joker wants to necessarily kill Batman. I don't think he ever wants to kill Batman. I don't think that's part of the Joker's character. I don't think the Penguin doesn't want to kill Batman.
Yeah, no, it's just not as well thought out. But there's definitely points in both of those movies where they're like, oh, he gets mad, the Joker gets mad, he's got the big boxing glove that hits the TV, the Batman's taking up my TV time, and blah, 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 blah. And then Batman steals his balloons. I know that's kind of towards the end in your favorite parade scene. And then there's the infamous kind of not the best scene in Batman Returns where the Penguin sexually harasses Catwoman, who comes into his little bedroom, and they're like, yeah, we want to get Batman. And they're like, yeah, we want to get Batman. Let's join. We'll team up to get Batman, even though it's a little unclear as to why, especially for Catwoman. And you could say the motivations are less clear than in this one, where I guess Two-Face doesn't like Batman because Batman spoils his crimes. And the Riddler was shut down by him.
There's a deleted scene in that's supposed to start this movie with the escape of Two-Face from Arkham. And in that scene, the doctor who's at the end of the movie in the theatrical cut comes into Two-Face's cell, and there's like a hole in the ceiling where he's escaped, and written on the wall is like, "Must kill the bat." So it more explicitly in a deleted scene gives the thesis for what.
I mean, we're not looking for crazy motivations, right? I mean, I guess it's whatever.
So since I brought that deleted scene up, there is on the interwebs an infamous Schumacher cut of Batman Forever.
We're thinking of all those alien movies where there's like really cool alternate cuts. The Schumacher cut. Oh, it makes it so much better.
Is there the version where Batman dies at the end?
I don't believe he dies in that one, but he is not. So as we go through the movie, I'll tell you where the alternate cuts and stuff are. But this movie was famously within the last couple of years shown by Kevin Smith at a feature event. It has not been released anywhere, but Kevin Smith got his hands on it and showed it to a huge group. So there's YouTube videos of people reviewing it, but you can basically piece together with what the deleted scenes were, what got added. And then there were some things that got removed, one of which I'm sure we'll talk about when we introduce the Robin character.
Okay. Cool stuff.
All right, so we then, after the big action sequence to start, get introduced to Edward Nygma, who is Jim Carrey in this version, who is obsessed with Bruce Wayne to begin with. He is a scientist working for Wayne Enterprises who's working on a brain control system. Does what he's trying to do make a lick of sense?
No. It actually, I think I had a note that like it makes the power plant plot from Batman Returns seem very solid. No, I take their thoughts, and there's a 3D TV involved, and don't worry about it. It's fine. I see their thoughts, and then I become ultimately smarter. It's fine. Whatever. It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we go into these Batman movies expecting like, the science to check out. But you're right. Even by the standards of this universe, it's a little both vague and unrealistic.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you're a kid, right? So it's like the target audience is like an 8-year-old. You'd be like, oh, yeah, that sucks out people's brain power and gives him brain power. Like, I guess you could probably just deduce that it's something. But yeah, it's pretty. And the whole thing's a big blender. It's
so funny at the end when he's like connected to the multiple screens, and him and Two-Face are like passing the joint back and forth, and they're like, "Whoa, man!
Oh, give me some more!" When he's just in his chair getting that big hit of it, looking like it's just like he's just climaxing over and over. Oh.
But yeah, I think this is the first time, because I'm just thinking back to the two previous Batmans where you kind of have to take that leap of plausibility, right, with some of the villains' capabilities.
I think they're ridiculous in the other ones.
But I'm just saying, in terms of like known technology from a science perspective, is there anything in the first two that is like not possible?
The Joker gets up to some fun science.
The Joker, when he makes his perfumes,
but he has a doctorate in chemistry.
He does it, yeah. And they make they make that clear. And, I mean, it's not as over the top. But, so it's interesting because when I came at this movie, I saw them in the order that they were released because I'm older than Luke and Nick, you're around the same age. So I remember thinking, oh, those Tim Burton Batmans are like dark and more realistic and stuff like that. And then you live a life and you see the Christopher Nolan movies and you go back to watch the Burton ones and you're like, oh, no, those are kind of, I was watching them this past time around. I'm like, oh, those are kind of goofy. they're kind of goofy in their own right. Yeah, they're a little dark, but then you get to these Schumacher ones. You're like, oh, that's why I thought the Burton ones were dark and serious, because these are just so bubblegum.
Yeah.
To the max.
And I think that's on a lot of levels, right? Yeah, there is the whole like plausibility piece. There's the tone, even just the cinematography. It's darker in a way that looks more like real life versus this is very bright and shiny and, as I think somebody said earlier, kind of neon colored.
So many neon colors.
Yeah,
black lights.
It's like a circus wet dream, basically.
Yeah. But we also got to keep in mind this movie came out in the mid 90s. You know, neon was cool.
But so I had mentioned this to Chris while we were texting while he was watching the movie, that kind of like neon craziness only exists when it's dark in Gotham. When we get daytime shots of Gotham in this movie, it is the most normal looking city in the world. So it is something. It's a stylistic choice that Shoemaker is making about when Batman has to stop crime at night in Gotham. The insanity is just turned up to 11.
Also, there's not a lot of daytime scenes.
There's not, but there is a couple of cuts that make that stark contrast. That like during the day everything's kind of whatever, seemingly normal, but at night, whoa, here we go. The jesters come out.
It's a crazy neon lit insanity.
All right, so Edward Nygma gets introduced to Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne rejects his brain idea basically because he's like, well, what keeps you from stealing people's thoughts and all that stuff? Rejects his idea, and then the Riddler is basically born out of now his hatred for Bruce Wayne. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ed Begley Jr. is in this movie. He is the guy that Edward Nygma sends to his death over the edge. Gives him a bronze on the entry into his death in the water below.
He does. He is. We last saw him in
Strange Darling.
Strange Darling. That's the movie. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, is this the first actor that has been in two of the movies that we covered that's not like a reoccurring character in a franchise?
I mean, was anyone from Alien in the Batmans yet? I don't think so. Yeah.
Ed Begley Jr., congratulations. Yeah. You're our first returning actor.
Yeah, he is. He's there. He's
uncredited. According to IMDb, he is not credited as being in this movie.
Wow.
He's in a lot of movies, though. He's that guy.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I love me some Ed Begley Jr. All right. So the next big character we get introduced to is Dr. Chase Meridian. I think she's at the start of the movie during the helicopter chase anyway, because her and Batman have a fun little back and forth about how much they know about psychology.
Yeah.
And do you think that this is the best chemistry between a Batman and a female character?
Yeah. Probably.
I think Kidman's actually sneaky pretty good in this movie, even though her character is ridiculous and says,
she's good. She
says crazy lines, but I think she sells it better than the two previous. Well, I suppose Pfeiffer is amazing.
Yeah, and that's, they don't really get a lot of time to have chemistry. And famously, right? I don't know if we talked about this, but Keaton and Pfeiffer had the affair prior to any of the Batmans, and so they actually literally have physical chemistry.
Yeah, but they didn't like each other, right? By the time this movie came, by the time they filmed.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I thought there was some contention, like they didn't want to shoot together, and
I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't end well.
Sure,
but
sure,
you're right. But there's still the seeds there. They had been together.
I'll agree with you though, Luke. I think the Kidman Kilmer combo is killer.
That history isn't necessary because these two are both such phenomenal performers. The great
phenomenal and just Kidman. Stone cold Aryan hotness.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and can we talk a little bit about the names being a little on the nose here? So like Chase Meridian and Edward Nygma.
Great names.
Okay. I mean,
Well, but the Edward Nygma was from the comic books, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
yeah, I guess, yeah.
they didn't come up with that.
Harvey Dent too. I mean,
Yeah, Chase Meridian is a weird name that they came up with for this movie, I guess.
Well, Meridian is the middle of something.
Yeah.
So she's seeking the middle ground. I don't know. It seems like a
It's
good,
symbolic.
a very intentional symbolic name for a psychologist, right? She's
well, especially for
psychiatrist.
the character that in this movie is being used to be the middle point between Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
There you go.
brilliant.
So just I
Unpack this poetry that Joel Schumacher writes.
It's just very, very heavy, kind of on the nose.
This
with
movie
the names.
was written by a couple. So,
Yeah.
we got some couple psychology going into the writing in this movie. It's good stuff. I think Kidman's awesome in this movie. I think she's so far been the best. And even if when we get into the Nolan girls aren't fantastic either.
No, they're not at all.
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes
Well, she
and
got
Maggie
booted.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
And then, Anne Hathaway is fine.
Anne Hathaway's great in those movies. We'll get to that.
I'm with you. I like Anne Hathaway.
But I just like Anne Hathaway.
Yes,
I
you
do. I do as well.
Me three.
Yeah.
Me three.
Total package.
Yeah.
All right. So
Not funny though.
She can be funny.
Can she?
Hathaway?
Yeah. Can she truly be funny, or is it just like has lines like? I guess maybe.
Yeah, I mean, she's not
She's
a
got
comedic
quips.
actress, but she has
Sure.
good comedic timing and, can be in funny things.
Okay.
Hello, Devil Wears Prada?
Yeah, but her whole
She's
thing
not
is
really
that
funny.
I know.
she's
I'm
not
kidding.
funny. I know.
Have you ever seen the movie Rachel Getting Married?
No.
You want to watch a hilarious movie, watch that one.
Are you being sarcastic?
That movie is dark as shit.
Yeah,
It's
I think-
very sad. It's about a girl that's going through addiction, and her sister is getting married, and she has to be a part of the wedding, and she's like hell-bent to ruin it.
Yeah, it's just a conversation I'd had recently that Anne Hathaway, great, but just not comedic. That's all. Okay, moving on.
But no, I do think her and Kidman are definitely probably the two most accomplished, and,
Definitely accomplished.
and well-rounded female performers in this that have played a part in this franchise.
Gotta throw in Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, the Fife Dog.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
to.
but as you noted earlier, like I kind of put her in a different camp because all the other ones are just like
The
Bruce's
romantic
Bruce's
interest.
girlfriend.
Yeah,
You
this
know,
chick.
well, no, I guess you have Uma Thurman in the next Batman too. Who's kind of more in that
Oh.
Michelle Pfeiffer hybrid love interest villain.
Yeah, I
So
can't, that's
there's
gonna
kind of
be-
two flavors of female characters in Batman. You're
Yeah.
either kind of like the side piece to Bruce.
You either
for
have
him to
a
play
very
off of.
flat storyline
Yeah.
that's your character is just doing one thing only, or you're also a villain.
But I think she plays an important role. To your earlier point about, Val Kilmer sort of being in a different movie here, that is a movie with Nicole Kidman's character, Chase Meridian.
Yeah.
Apologies. And I don't know how you have kind of that exposition about his psyche and background and get into that without her character and her being, again, a psychologist. Again, it's obviously kind of forced, like, oh yeah, we'll have her be a psychologist so we can get into Batman's, but it's better than, I guess, some other paths they could have taken to sort of dive into that aspect of the Batman character.
It's
Yeah.
doing something.
And so talking about that, I did pull a quick clip from the line where Batman is talking to Meridian about Dr. Chase, about his traumatic childhood. In this movie, he's having nightmares, reliving his childhood up to his parents' death and demise. And then we get the line from which this movie gets its name from.
And I fell. I fell forever.
It's deep.
Yeah. So
Is that right when they have the little toy bat?
show up after, yes.
Oh man.
Flying in from the distance.
Yeah, that's at the time that was cool.
But I mean, I think those scenes, I think the conversations that he has with Dr. Chase give this Batman character in this particular movie a lot to do with. And I think a lot of the ideas, especially from the Batman character and how they're being set up and worked Nolan just makes better in his movies, but he's definitely pulling from this movie. Like, a lot of the falling into the Batcave is used again in Batman Begins, and, his father being there to pick him up in these flashbacks and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that we'll probably talk about with fondness in Batman Begins and the Nolan movies and stuff like that exists in this movie.
Firing a bazooka at the Batmobile.
Well,
from this movie. No, that is
true.
It's an iconic thing that happens later that I was like, oh, they do that in this movie too? I guess they do. So, taking stuff.
No, that's a great point though. But I think it doesn't hit the same way or with the same gravity because
the rest of the movie is so stupid.
Yeah, the campiness,
Yeah.
which to be fair was intentional and were kind of Schumacher's marching orders, right?
Yes,
As
it
you
was
established
required.
Well, and you had Jim Carrey. You had Jim Carrey who was going to be Jim Carrey. So,
I wonder to a certain extent, or some of the folks kind of, failure's too strong of a word, but somewhat set up for failure here. It's like, we want you to make this super campy Batman that kids will love, but we also want you to delve into the childhood trauma and underlying psyche of somebody who watched his parents get murdered as a young child.
Trauma wasn't popular yet.
Not yet.
I
But
know, but that's a hard.
No, it's a tough. I specifically, I don't like it because of that. Like, it's just like, what are we doing? We're having serious conversations now before we play Battleship.
But from Schumacher's interviews about this movie, he talks about being, strong-armed into the campiness. But the comic books, versions that he references are the darker Batman, like really delving into the psyche of Batman. So that's definitely the movie, if he was given free artistic range on this movie, that would have been produced.
Yeah, and I incorrectly, I think, when I was younger, got him and Michael Bay mixed up as like, oh, these are the bullshit directors that they do bullshit because the two Batmans bullshit. So they're the same type of person. Then I was kind of taken aback when I learned about the other stuff that Joel Schumacher had done. Like, oh no, it's not just bullshit. He actually makes some serious swings at serious movies.
8mm is the crazy darkest movie you've ever do you know anything about that movie?
No.
So Nick Cage plays this investigative person who is trying to track down a homemade sex tape, violent sex tape for this father. And so he has to go into the underworld of this, X-rated film producer that is, making all of these, nasty films and stuff like that. And it's
like a snuff film.
Yeah, it is this, delve into this dark world of pornographic film.
Super hot.
Show me where the porn is.
Yeah. And the bad guy in that movie is Frank Sabatka from the second season of The Wire.
Oh yeah.
And his name in the Stag films is The Machine.
I'm a big Wire fan. I haven't seen that
too.
movie, but I want to now, and I could totally see Frank is being involved in the porn industry.
Take me.
Yes.
He's going from the docks to,
right
to
from
the
Seedy
porn
guy.
set.
He's got that seedy look.
He does. He's kind of got the balding, comb over, greasy. Yeah.
He's a great actor.
That makes a ton of sense to me.
He's really, really good. All right. So before we get off into full Wire talk, I could talk about The Wire forever. But we do have to introduce our last main character in this movie. That is Dick Grayson, Master Dick.
Master Dick.
Who we get introduced immediately because Bruce Wayne takes Dr. Chase Meridian to the circus that's going on in town.
It's a good date.
Sure.
Yeah. No, that's good. If you want to impress somebody,
If you're a pedophile.
let's go to the circus.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is real. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, so they go to the circus because apparently that is where all the Gotham elite go to hang out at the circus.
Yeah, and then the first big thing that we see Dick Grayson do is he is going to do the high-flying trick without a net.
Wow.
And
No net.
that occurs. Two-Face shows up. He's got a bomb.
Oh, it's a cartoon bomb.
And Dick Grayson and his family kick into gear.
I love that Two-Face's plot here. They're like, what do you know where Batman is? Somebody just tell me, okay? Or else I'm going to just blow everything up. Just, come on. Just tell me who he is. Like, very.
But
He thought that through. Someone will know. Just break the bomb. Someone will know.
Bruce
What
Wayne.
if nobody knows?
Bruce Wayne openly admits to being
He
Batman.
shouts it
No
out.
one can hear him.
Yeah, they should have a. They should have it that this camera pan down. Some guy looks up. What the fuck did he just say? No one hears.
Yeah,
But
is he ever looser with the "I am Batman" thing than in
No,
this movie?
he is playing
He
fast
admits
and
it.
loose.
Yeah, because he tells the Riddler too. You know.
Well, Keaton in
The
'89
Riddler.
has the whole scene where he's like fumbling through an explanation for like basically coming out as Batman and can't do it. And this movie, Kilmer's just like, yeah, man, I'm Batman.
Yeah, and Keaton rips off his rubber mask at the end of
And returns,
Returns.
But
So
this scene is very cool, in my opinion, when he says the "I'm Batman" and nobody hears him, because in a lot of movies, it's like, especially in the Nolan movies, The Dark Knight in particular, what does Gotham need? Does it need Bruce Wayne, the billionaire, like trying to help out the city with his money and stuff like that? Or does it need Batman, the Dark Knight, the Cape Crusader, who is trying to keep the streets of Gotham clean? In this particular scene, Gotham does not need Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne is yelling, going like, I'm giving myself up. This is what needs to happen. And in the chaos that ensues, none of it works. It needs Batman. It needs a vigilante to come through and stop it. In this particular scene, that ends up being Dick Grayson, who is the guy that essentially saves everybody from the bomb.
The big bomb.
Gets it out into the ocean and all that stuff, while his family falls to their demise.
Damn.
And we then get basically the only characteristic, the only depth to the Robin character, and that
kill Two-Face.
he's got to kill Two-Face.
Well, we also know he likes to ride bikes. He likes to ride
we
motorcycles.
had
And he
that.
can be enticed with cheeseburgers.
I guess I'll just throw this.
I know. I
away.
was like, are you guys, what is going on here? You're like, I'm sure you don't want this really nice, juicy cheeseburger. If someone fixed up my bikes, they could keep one, maybe. Sounds like some predatory behavior on Bruce's part, but
yeah,
that's
they're flirting a little bit.
yeah. Anyways,
There is a weird energy.
There's
Yeah.
a very strange energy. But
Yeah.
as I pointed out to Chris, Batman is a weird energy guy. His best friend is a good-looking teenage boy
yeah,
that he fights crime with.
and he has a double identity,
And they wear tights together.
Tights and big old cod pieces.
well, that's the ambiguously gay duo. Nick, you
Yeah.
probably know what
Oh,
that
very
is.
much, yeah.
Do you know what that is? It's from Saturday Night Live. Robert Smigel used to do a cartoon on SNL that would air. It was something on SNL. I thought it was hilarious as a young boy, and it's like Batman and Robin, but the joke is that they're gay, and because that was back
Ambiguously gay.
ambiguously gay duo, and in 1997 that just killed, and
I've been 100% so far in this podcast with your SNL references until right now.
the ambiguously gay duo.
I've never felt younger.
Oh man, this is good.
And the joke was it wasn't very ambiguous.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
I imagine so.
And nor are the characters in this. But yeah, he's definitely got like sort of a 90s like sort of X Games vibe, with the bikes, the trapeze, the whole, as you said earlier, I don't need the net thing. You know,
He's got an earring in his left ear. He's cool.
I bet he snowboards.
Oh,
Totally.
For sure.
And then later on in his life, he went to Warped Tour.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
well, he comes into Bruce, because Bruce Wayne takes him in after his family dies, and he has the conversation with him. He's like, I just had to sign all the paperwork and stuff. Now you can just let me go, man.
Just get me out of here. I don't want your charity, Bruce.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't need your money. What are you gonna do? Help me get through my parents?
Just forget about it. Leave me alone. Go into my room.
Yeah, he's got, again, a 90s thing, all the angst.
Angst, man.
So
Angsty
much
thing.
angst.
Just gonna go listen to my Nirvana tapes.
Again, like I do think this movie is very much of a time in a way that many of the other Batmans aren't. Like there's a lot of things that feel very mid 90s
Well,
about
and also,
this film.
quick aside, the soundtrack, which
Sure.
the soundtrack. This is of the age where movie soundtracks were a big deal because we all bought these things called CDs. There was no streaming, and they would have specific songs that you couldn't find anywhere else, but you had to buy the soundtrack. The big single from this was U2's kiss me, kill me, pull me, spank me. I don't know what it's called, but that one I don't have my. But there was also, I mean, it had the Offspring, it had cool bands, so we get away from, even though there is score, and it's Elliot Goldenthal.
It's a great score.
Yeah, he's the alien guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they do have a score, but like the big thing, if you're like, oh, music from Batman, no, you got to get the Batman soundtrack. It's got all these popular hits.
My guy Seal.
Married
to Heidi Klum for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually was the most popular song. See, me being the person that I was at that age, I was like, I don't listen to no Seal. Seal songs suck.
Yeah, as you were saying that, I'm thinking, like, was it Kiss from a Rose from this movie? And then I was second guessing myself because I was like, how could you lead with U2? Because this is an iconic.
Yeah, no, no one is listening to that U2 song anymore.
This is
a
the
bad
Seal song.
Oh. So, but to be fair, I'm sure Kiss from a Rose was on another
that
album.
song went to it. Yeah, it came out like 9 years before.
Yeah, okay.
And was re-released as a single for being on this soundtrack and went to number 1.
Ooh.
Because it was like, well, he's a man of British descent, Seal. So he was big overseas. This song, this movie made him big in the U.S.
Really?
And was this the song he sang in Pop
Star? Yeah.
Never
no, I got these scars.
Yeah.
The fucking wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seal, you're driving the wolves nuts here. You gotta calm down.
Like my young children know Kiss from a Rose. Like this,
it's a big song.
It's kind of seeped into the culture.
I think I've now mentioned it on every podcast, but this song, along with the score, is what plays while you're in line at the Batman ride at Six Flags.
This is true.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think they play the U2 song.
The U2
they
song
do. They
do.
do. I've heard it there.
All right.
Really?
Correction
It's
made.
not. It's not a popular U2 song.
But I think they've changed it over the years because I have like a distinct memory, and it would have been after this, I think, for the next Batman movie of hearing the Pumpkins waiting in line there and being really excited.
The end is the beginning is the end. Yeah, the soundtrack vibe will continue to the next movie. And that was always cool. And I had those soundtracks, and there was a special McDonald's burger that you could get, and it was only available on the menu for Batman Forever. And I remember getting it.
I mean, the worldwide box office for this movie shows how much marketing went into it. It made more money than the first two.
It was a big deal.
And it's
big deal. Big stars. I mean, this was prime Carey, everything. This was big time.
I'm trying to remember. So Jim Carrey, this was obviously after
Dumb and Dumber.
Mask and
So it was
Ace Ventura, Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and then
because Dumb and Dumber was 94.
That's a heater.
Yeah, and then continue. Cable Guy is right there as well.
Yeah,
and I started to, before he goes so crazy as the Riddler, I was seeing a lot of similarities between Edward Nygma and the Cable Guy.
Sure,
just as like Jim Carrey doing his Jim Carrey but being dark.
Which is
great. No, I know. We are all three of us here big fans of the Cable Guy. But then he turns into the Riddler, and then it's just like he's Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes 94, Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, all 94.
Wow.
Then Batman Forever, 95, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, 95, Cable Guy, 96, To Liar Liar, Truman Show, Man on the Moon.
Yeah, so it's his. But isn't it crazy how many movies would come out like in a year back then? Mm-hmm. Like that's insane that he had all those movies come out in a year. Yeah, the big three.
Like Kevin Hart doesn't even do that.
Nobody does that. That's
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, that's
true. I mean, he's a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Watch Atlanta. I believe season 3. There's a episode about Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
And his production studio.
But yeah, I'm wondering if Jim Carrey was using any performance-enhancing drugs. He seemed a little amped up.
He was
in all his. I mean, I don't think we get a muted Jim
I
Carrey performance
I don't think he has a drug problem.
I don't think he does, but it's just like wow.
Yeah.
Like what energy.
Well, and is this a good time to discuss? I think we might have brought up earlier the original desired casting.
Yeah, go for it.
And I just bring it up because another guy who famously is amped up did have a drug problem, but recovered from it and was still seemed like he was on cocaine was Robin Williams.
Oh, wait.
I
Oh,
mean,
I'm the Riddler.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously older, but
Yeah, so Robin Williams was up for this part. He did not want to take it because I think Burton had kind of scorned him for the Joker. In '89, he was up for that, and they ended up going with Nicholson. And so he was pretty pissed off about getting moved on from that, and then was like, "Oh, you're just gonna give me the Riddler? Like, no way."
I want to be the better villain.
It probably doesn't make as much money if Carey's not in it.
True.
I'll say that.
Yeah, he was. It was the prime time.
yeah, Williams was a star, but he was kind of like cruising along.
He was getting into more serious
versus
stuff.
like Carey was cresting
Yeah.
height of his power and fame
Yeah.
at this moment. I mean, probably one of the biggest box office draws.
Oh, huge.
Oh yeah.
Just because like you knew what you were getting, right? And I think the physical comedy, to me at least, like Robin Williams is funnier with his words. Sure. You know, all of his like kind of fast talking, weird reference.
Oh
sort
yeah.
of, you know. Yeah, he's kind of, to me, he kind of reminds me of like a Family Guy, right? Where he's just throwing in lots of quick, funny stuff,
references.
Like,
references.
what do we do?
Versus Carey, obviously, is like the quintessential physical comedian, and
Yeah, I think for me, Good Morning Vietnam is like his perfect mix between the fast talking reference guy that, you know, the full Robin Williams, kind of like an Aladdin too, where he's just bopping and
that's where I
and
go.
jiving.
Aladdin's great.
Yeah.
But Good Morning Vietnam also has the end of the movie, like the last hour, where he has to play way more serious and is able to do that.
He
really
can do that
well.
very well.
Sure.
And then Good Will Hunting is 96, I believe. So
Yeah.
he's really getting into that mode. Whereas
Yeah.
I
Jim
think
Carrey.
if Robin Williams was in this movie, I think you get a lot better performance. I don't think it makes as much money, but I think Schumacher can kind of control what that character is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Whereas if you drop Carey into this movie, you just have to let him be Jim Carrey.
Yep. It was the time.
And Jim Carrey is going to take like one note from the character. They're like, well, this guy is crazy. And he's like, perfect.
Okay.
Big Kahuna!
Oh! Yeah. It was.
But hey, to be fair to Jim Carrey, I think he evolved as an actor as well. And
Oh, yeah,
later
I mean-
in his career, like Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, I think gets to that Robin Williams place where he can.
He almost goes there. Robin Williams, I think, is able to do.
I mean,
Carey better as a dramatic actor.
Carey's great in
I think
Truman
it's
Show.
really close.
Man on the Moon is a
Man on the Moon's
crazy,
really great.
difficult performance.
Yeah, no, they're both really
And
good.
didn't he like go all method?
Yeah.
for,
He did.
For
There's
that?
a whole Netflix documentary.
It's one of the reasons
Yeah.
why he didn't win the Oscar for it, because everyone hated him so much for doing the method thing. And like he basically was like, he just pissed everybody off, so nobody wanted to be like, hey, he should win this year.
Which is like meta method, because Kaufman famously would
Yeah,
do shit like
on
that and
purpose,
piss people
yeah.
off. So it's like,
It was,
Yeah.
it's. I love it. I'll take it. They're both really good dramatic actors too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy that they're connected because of this movie for this particular role, which in this movie kind of just falls off the deep end very quickly.
Sad we never got a Jim Carrey, Robin Williams movie.
Like, because
that would have been a lot.
No, I thank God we never did.
That was by design.
broken through the screen.
Yeah.
Because we've introduced all the characters now,
Yeah, what
we'll
do we
get
got?
into some of the bad parts. We've talked about Two-Face. I think a lot of what the Riddler does in this movie is fine until the end of the movie. The last action set piece when Batman's deciding between Robin and Dr. Chase, I think Carey's terrible in that.
Oh yeah, I like that. Well.
I like the scene.
I like the set piece because it is classic Batman stuff. Like, oh, they're the two tubes, and I have a sucker for when he does the game show host thing.
See, that's the part that I'm saying is bad.
I like that part. It works for me because I mean, it's purely funny.
It's just Jim Carrey doing stand-up.
Yeah, fine. I mean, what the hell? Most of the time, it's not like he's like, oh my gosh, this is a lived-in character. A couple of scenes before that, he's like just, when he's throwing those bombs, he's just doing little bits of different physical, like he's farting or pelvic thrusting. Like, what is that? That's nothing. That's absolutely Nothing. He's just being zany. But at least that was a bit of zaniness when he's doing his game show thing. Where I was like, okay, like I don't mind.
No,
that.
I kind of agree with you on this. You got a Porsche, you got to take it out of the garage sometime. You're letting Jim Carey kind of vamp a little bit.
What do they win, Jim?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. At this point, he's just doing himself. So like that was like, oh yeah, that part I don't mind as much as maybe some of the other stuff, which was less. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't find it as enjoyable. But it's all just him doing him.
I think that I think the Riddler, when Riddler introduces himself to Two-Face, I think that scene's pretty effective. We get him introducing himself.
But you can call me the Riddler.
I like this.
I'm sorry. The Riddler.
That's like a total like Ace Ventura voice.
Oh, for sure.
Do not go in there.
I am the Riddler. Anyway.
I think the set design on that is pretty cool with the two split
two
sides.
sides
You get the Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore,
I
yeah.
forget who the other lady is,
Not
but you
as
get
famous.
the dark and light side. There's also I hope
Billy, yeah.
Oh yeah, I pulled this line from that too.
It's so you, and yet so you.
Yeah.
Did
He's just-
Oprah steal that?
I think she did. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely, it's him being him.
I like when he's lighting the cigarettes. He's got the two cigarettes in his mouth. One is with the normal lighter. The other is with like a
flamethrower. Yeah. And then also I made a note. They're like, on one side we're having a normal meal. On the other side, raw donkey meat. What the fuck is that? And it's like one side is casual, like business, and the other side's like hot topic, like his that tiger print purple. It's pretty out there.
The other big scene with Riddler and Two-Face is when they attack the mansion, which I think is probably the worst scene in the movie.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's so goofy.
They
insane.
come in as they're trick or treating.
Yeah.
Alfred, okay, I'll let them. Oh no, Alfred's down.
Dude, Alfred gets banged out. He is done.
They fuck him up. Yeah. Also, really quickly, there's something that was just weird about this is I think that right after they're introduced, the Riddler and Two-Face are introduced to each other. It cuts to just like a random Batman action scene, which is where Two-Face is dressed up as the grandma with but it's just like there's no, we don't ever get it. Like, why did this happen? What's going on?
That's the rocket launcher scene too, and then the Batmobile can.
It goes
do
up
the
the
crab
wall.
walk.
Yeah, and it's just to me it was just weird. Like it was like a scene was missing.
Yeah, you reportedly have studied up on the deleted
just-
scenes. Was there something cut?
Just
that
something.
maybe-
They're like, oh, they're out on the town. Batman better get them. Like something. It was just like in process now. It just seemed like they skipped a scene.
So there is a scene in which the Riddler, I think before this or it's during this, has reprogrammed the Batmobile, and he sends them to a hair salon, as opposed to like the spot where the Riddler and Two-Face are like stealing the jewels and stuff. Because there's a whole like cut scene
Montage of them
there's a
doing
montage
crime.
of them doing crime, and I think that's kind of where this action piece comes in. But there, as a part of that, the Riddler is reprogrammed like the Penguin in the movie before, the Batmobile, and sends him to a hair salon. And there's some stupid jokes in there where the hairstylist is basically like, need to take a little off the ears.
Oh,
And so that's pretty dumb. But after
So we're to believe like Bruce Wayne Batman doesn't have like top-notch cybersecurity.
yeah,
no,
well,
he's
I mean,
very
We
exposed.
got
He's
all
on
these people just hacking into the Batmobile.
unsecured network.
in the
Yeah.
Burton
His
one, he's
password is Batman.
Yeah.
in the
Lowercase.
Burton movie, he's got like the big shield that comes over the Batmobile, and they still were able to
They
hack
still
into
get it.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, the Riddler has the IQ of every single person in Gotham City. So.
And he acts like it.
Oh, for sure.
You could tell if someone was smart as hell, the Riddler.
Well, he does that first hit of the thing from Ed Bagley Jr. and he's like, "I'm so smart now. I now have all your smartness," and he never acts smart ever again.
Never. Nope. He's pretty much just. He's got his Billy Idol haircut.
Well, and then he's got the gala because Edward Nygma has now become like a multi-millionaire through this TV contraption that he's come up with. And he dresses exactly like Bruce Wayne. And they have a conversation between Nygma and Wayne. And he's like mimicking him. He's putting the glasses on. He's taking them off when Bruce Wayne takes them off. So like there is kind of some cool character work being done with Nygma where he's also a split personality. So Two-Face split personality. Joker split personality. He wants to be Bruce Wayne in one hand, but also hates Bruce Wayne on the other hand. Mm-hmm. And then, Batman and Bruce Wayne being the hero side of the split.
This movie is about the duality of man.
Exactly. As all great movies are.
And then Chase Meridian
is the middle.
The calming female presence trying to
center.
Yeah.
To bring it all together.
Won't these boys just get along?
Oh my goodness. And then, are we going to Robin taking the Batmobile and all that jazz?
Yeah,
can we talk about the ninja laundry scene?
So this is the scene that in the Schumacher cut is deleted.
As it should be.
It makes no sense being in this movie except for to show off that like Robin does have more tricks than just a trapeze guy, but it is so stupid.
Let me show you how I get the water out of my pants.
Like, dude, Alfred is so impressed.
He's like, oh my goodness, Master Dick. Master Dick, I'm having a little bit of trouble.
That's another fun name, Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. Master Dick.
Yeah.
Dude, Alfred has a thing for
Master Dick.
Chris O'Donnell.
I'm a queen. Yeah. In my younger days, I was quite out on the town.
Well,
I didn't have trouble with Master Dick at all back in those days.
There must be a family attraction because isn't in the next movie his niece has the sexual tension.
Is it Alicia Silverstone?
I haven't seen that movie.
The niece of Bruce Wayne in that?
I embarrassingly saw that movie fairly recently. And that is the pretense for her coming and staying at Wayne Manor.
Batwoman.
Is that he's...
Batgirl.
She's the niece, and then she finds the motorcycles.
Whatever.
And then finds the cave. Yeah, but...
As if.
That whole family just wants to get some dick.
Absolutely. Dude.
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson's not that bad. I'm going to defend Chris O'Donnell in this particular movie. I thought he would be way worse. He's not that bad.
I think he's actively very bad.
I don't think he's that bad.
It's what his line readings. I don't know.
I think it's the lines. I think his performance is fine. He's a good actor, but this is a tough character.
Well, yeah. So maybe it's the writing. He's like, I just want to kill Two-Face.
He's forced to do a lot of dumb Robin-y introduction stuff.
Oh,
he does the holy.
Oh God!
But that's just a callback to the series.
Yeah. I mean, there's holes, and it's a metal rock. Batman.
That is a swing and a miss joke by the screenwriters.
So bad. It's and he just I don't enjoy his character, but
I think I went into this movie thinking he'd be way worse, and he just wasn't as bad as I imagined he was.
You probably just have the residue of the subsequent Batman and Robin staining your perception.
He does get canceled. He should get canceled because he does a Hispanic voice when he's catcalling those ladies.
Yeah, that's a weird scene too.
That's all of it. So weird. He takes the car out and he's like, oh, "Come on, look at the Papachito," or so, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't Batman." It's really not good. What is happening? And then everyone is in black light clothing, and it's just if you want to delete a scene, let's just get rid of that whole thing because
I think knowing the proclivities of one Joel Schumacher, I think this was his dude, I'm throwing a gay nightclub into the middle of this movie. And that's all the scene is just a straight guy showing up to a gay nightclub and everyone's like, let's turn the straight guy.
Well, wait. So do we know his formal name? And I'll admit, I'm excited over here because I didn't realize his name was Dick Grayson until we started talking about
Master
this.
Dick.
Yeah. I just glossed over me. Is that a canonical name for Robin,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
was that a Schumacher creation?
No.
Okay.
Well, I wish it was.
Yeah. Yeah, Dick Grayson was from the olden days. Yeah.
But
Dick?
Schumacher took advantage of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
even the last name Grayson, so you have like gray halfway between black and white, son, because, Batman's his father figure. He's basically like Batman's adopted son.
Yeah, Gray Son.
Yeah, it's just, and Dick because,
He's got one.
he does.
it's there.
A famous coxman,
Yeah.
Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
All the ladies picking up Latina chicks.
But- It's weird though because this was the first bat suit with like the big codpiece and the bat nipples and all that sort of stuff. But the weirdest cut of this movie is to the badass when he's putting on the new suit at the end.
What's up with that?
And you get like him putting everything on, and then it's just a jump cut to Val Kilmer. I would hope it's Val Kilmer. Maybe it's a stunt
the
double.
stunt ass.
That ass.
Oof.
he does his own stunts. And if you really want to lean into like the Batman and Robin ambiguously gay duo vibes, is the titular Batman and Robin film maybe give you a little bit more of that than this one.
But
then that Batgirl comes and screws it all up.
She ruins everything.
But Schumacher is like a very openly gay man, and if that's the lifestyle that you have, it's gonna seep into your art. Yeah. So it definitely seeps into this movie full force. I like to think that Schumacher, because like we said in his other movies, he's not adult. He's not a dumb filmmaker. He is an artist. That he was told to make, a kid campy version of this. And he's like, all right, you want campy? Well, we're getting gay nightclub, baby, because that's about as campy as it gets.
What's the plot? Well, 15 guys are about to gang assault this one woman. And that's
or
great
this
for the
one
kid.
man.
Oh, yeah.
And Dick Grayson.
And that's it. No, but it delivers on that. It's a good, the tone is, so like the other one, like Tim Burton, I think I said something like, oh, it's like a kid wrote this, but it's a little older kid that was raised on like watching movies that were way too old for him. And he's kind of got a sick sensibility. Like he's a little weird. And this is just for like kids. This is like straight up. Oh, the tone. That's right. The tone of this movie reminded me of stuff on the Disney Channel.
Yeah, there's a lot of line readings that kind of put that through. There's a lot of the screenwriting, especially after the first hour of this movie, definitely goes like, well, we got to get to this part of the plot. We got to get to this part of the plot. And it kind of takes childish ways to get there.
Yeah. So, and again, like, sure, that handles it, that is what this is, but the plot, the acting, the plot too, like the whole brain machine, like that would work on a Disney Channel show. It's just like, yeah, don't worry about it, it's silly, for kids. And then the acting is a little over the top.
They don't really they don't explain the science behind it, which is what bothers me.
Yeah,
it's like if we're gonna go there,
let's see the research paper.
Yeah, let's give me a minute or two in the lab where he's figuring it out.
Yeah, a little Oppenheimer. So, yeah, Disney Channel tone. It's my contribution here.
All right, so as we get to the end of this movie, I'm going to talk about a couple of the things from the Schumacher cut that got taken out that are largely considered to be the better parts that were removed from the theatric version. So there is a scene after the break-in Bruce Wayne's manor, after Batman gets shot, where in the Schumacher cut of the movie, and you can find this clip on YouTube, Bruce Wayne forgets that he's Batman and has to go on a journey through the caves in which he's rediscovering himself and coming to terms with his parents' death. And so there's a lot of mixed flashbacks and stuff like that. Bruce Wayne then finds in the caves the journal of his father, and the last journal entry basically says, we couldn't go to the movie that Bruce wanted to go to because Martha and I wanted to go to this thing. It was a necessity, so we brought Bruce along. Whereas earlier in the movie, there's a flashback where Bruce is like, I begged my parents to go to this film. They reluctantly came along and then died that night. So he has this guilt. So in this scene later on, he then realizes it's not my fault. He comes more to terms with it. He goes back to Alfred and is like, I am Batman and Bruce Wayne. They can both exist. And I can, both be this kind of vengeful spirit, but he comes more to terms with the relationship between the two. He comes more to terms with Dr. Chase. Is she in love with Batman? Is she in love with Bruce Wayne? Well, she can be in love with both because there is more of a connectivity between the two characters than what he originally thinks. There is also the scene at the end of this movie. So after the big, and we can talk about more at the end if you want to talk about it more, Chris. At the end of the movie where Edward Nygma is in Arkham Asylum and Dr. Chase is brought in because Nygma has basically been like, I know who Batman is. And then basically tells Dr. Chase that he's Batman. Edward Nygma says that. When Dr. Chase comes back out in the theatrical version, Bruce is waiting for her and they have, kind of a heartfelt conversation about their relationship and stuff like that. In the Schumacher cut, she comes out and Bruce is gone. He's supposed to be there, but he's gone. Alfred is there to pick her up, and they get in the car, and Dr. Chase basically asks Alfred, is it always like this? Is it always like you expect Bruce to be there, and then he's just not there? And Alfred is like, yes, this is what it's going to be like for the rest of his life, because he has chosen to be both Bruce Wayne and Batman. So it's definitely a lot like...
It's deep.
It's a deeper end to the movie than kind of the cheese that they put onto it at the end of this.
Yeah, that seems like just two different movies, like
Yeah,
you said, and I just don't think they can support
the end
each
of that
other.
cave scene where he comes to terms with the Batman is where that humongous giant bat, kind of the big iconic set thing from this, shows up and he faces down his fear of the bat.
Yeah, it seems like that would have gone well in Batman Begins, or like that.
But that's what I'm saying is that a lot of the ideas, especially the deleted parts of this, the Schumacher cut of this movie, is basically turned into the Batman storyline in Batman Begins and then fleshed out a lot more.
I think that they were really onto some potentially good stuff. I think that this, you just have the problem of the villains being, I think a big thing was casting Jim Carey. Once that happens, once that shoe falls, then Tommy Lee Jones needs to be a little more animated. Then they already wanted it camp, and they already wanted it for kids, and that Batman, kind of deep Batman plot probably doesn't have a home in a very children-like Batman movie. That's a little more adult. And it just was trying to do too many things. And it ultimately couldn't do that because you are going to put in those crazy Riddler scenes. You are going to have them play Battleship and do all that crazy stuff and that tone. And you're going to have all that stuff where it's written kind of like a Disney Channel movie. And that's just not going to fit with deep introspective deeply introspective stuff about the duality of man and resolving his trauma and facing who he is. All that's big stuff.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about is a issue with cohesiveness with the film. I totally agree with your point that there are so many seeds planted here for the later Batmans, and I think, done well performed, well acted. Writing, maybe not so much. But yeah, it does feel messy and discordant when it's layered in with
serious stuff.
Yeah, this movie
no,
has...
I'm saying the serious stuff is layered in with like the cartoon performances and over-the-top performances of those characters.
This movie has the same problem as our villains and protagonists in this movie, too, that it's two different movies.
Yeah.
It has the depth and, character deep dive into Bruce Wayne and Batman, but it also has the camp. And it can't decide which movie it wants to be the entire time and bounces back and forth and suffers because of it.
And arguably, I think maybe that's why the Nolan ones are more
because
successful.
it doesn't have to make those choices anymore. Nolan comes in and
like, this is
grabs
all
creative
serious.
control of this.
Yeah.
It is the writer, is the auteur that you're talking about, and pulls out the movie that he wants from it. Whereas Schumacher now has this mysterious cut that no one has ever seen but people that are friends with Kevin Smith. And this movie is, the theatrical version is a mess between two different movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think they did a lot of good things architecturally to support that darker, deeper story, in that you have the psychiatrist girlfriend, which kind of leads you down that
It's a nice
introspection path.
device for that.
But then also, the initial forming of the relationship with Dick.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson.
Who
and
lost his parents.
Exactly,
And he
yeah.
finds a father figure who also lost his parents. They have the whole conversation where Dick explains, like, how can you know anything about me? And Bruce Wayne is like, I am you.
Yeah, to me that is like kind of one of the foundational scenes of the movie.
It's too smart
that
for the
whole-
movie.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but
Yeah.
it's a way, I think both those characters and the way they interact with Bruce Wayne allows you to delve into that stuff in a way that doesn't feel super forced, which needs to happen in this movie because it is only half the movie, because you still have to give all the screen time to the Riddler, so it's like you can't kind of slow burn it like you do with Christian Bale's Batman in later films. And I think it was smart of them to bring in those characters in that way to kind of force those conversations. And again, it's a little bit of kind of forced exposition or introspection, but it makes sense in the context of who those characters are and their relationship to Batman.
Yeah, Nolan has 3 movies to build the character of Bruce Wayne and his connection to Batman, whereas Schumacher has like 20 minutes of this movie to do that.
Yeah.
And I think he does a commendable
I'll
job
agree.
doing it. But
I'll say it again. I think Nolan and I think Jonathan Nolan helped on the writing of those owe a lot to the ideas that Schumacher puts in this movie that I'm sure Schumacher is also getting from the comic books.
Yeah, I'm not a comic professional here.
Yeah, and so I won't speak to what the comic books, I'm sure that they
Yeah,
have the layering depth
That
to
comes
those
all
two
that,
characters, but it's not like Schumacher is
Takes
shunning
a
those
swing
at
at
all.
He takes a swing at it.
But if anything, I'd say this movie, saying like the sum is better than the whole is better than some of its parts. This is sort of the opposite.
Yeah.
I feel like the parts are better than the whole, right?
When you put it
There's
together.
some great nuggets there, and despite all the somewhat negative talk we've had about the other, like the Riddler's funny. Like
They're
that's
fun.
Yeah, that's like a fun
You're
character.
getting-
It's a fun performance.
I think Two-Face is actively bad in this.
Yeah.
That's
Two-Face is bad. But Jim Carrey's being Jim Carrey doing Ace Ventura, which is what everybody in the world wanted to see. We all
still wants to see.
Sure.
That's Jim
I-
Carrey's doing his
I am
thing.
telling you what, I watched this movie with my now fiance
Ooh.
the other night.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Between the Batman Returns and Batman Forever recordings, our host Luke here is now officially spoken for and engaged. So congrats to Luke.
Thank you very much. But we were watching this movie together, and Jim Carrey comes on the screen, and I just have the biggest smile on my face. And
It's fun.
And she's just watching. She's kind of like, "What the heck is going on with this movie?" And I'm like, "Jim Carrey just shows up and has to be Jim Carrey."
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's fun when you when you let everything else go about this movie and are just like, it's not going to be good by the time I get to the end of this. It's not going to fit well together. And you just let him do his thing. And I think it's a ton of fun.
Do you think that's why Tommy Lee Jones was mad? Because Tommy Lee Jones couldn't do what he was
can't
doing.
get to that
but he's
height.
trying. He's trying. Like he's doing. I mean, and you mentioned that
He's
it's
doing
kind
a
of like
bad Jim Carrey impression.
Yeah, and it's kind of just. It's like he's just
Yeah,
weird.
the vocalization. I mean,
He's just bizarre.
is he
makes-
supposed to be a little southern? I almost get like a foghorn leghorn
Well,
sort of thing. in his
Tommy Lee
throat.
Jones has that issue in
Yeah.
a number of movies where he does Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because I mean, Gotham. I mean, I know Gotham is a fictional city, but I think
Seems it's in the East. It's in
we all associate it with New York.
Yeah, it's got the Statue of Liberty.
Is
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, Gotham, baby.
But it's holding a sign with Gotham on it.
Yep.
So it's not
as it would.
So are we supposed to believe Harvey Dent is born and raised Gothamite? Or?
Yeah, he's a Cajun lawyer that
right.
moved out east.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the Nolan movies, he's like a son of Gotham City, and in the Nolan movies, Gotham is like Chicago because of the bridges.
Oh, yeah.
It's New York because I think it's historically it's supposed to be like New York, and it's also Pittsburgh because the Pittsburgh Steelers play in Gotham City.
They do. Yeah.
But
And they shot it in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The overhead shots are all the Chicago River types.
Yeah, but I like that about the later ones. I think
it is supposed to
they're
be
great.
like it's in the middle well, there's Gotham and Metropolis, and there's like basically nothing, but those two cities are very close to each other. So they're supposed to be the two big cities in this fictional world.
There it is. Well, what else to say before we kind of go into some awards?
I think I've hit everything that I wanted to really say before I get into my full wrap up when we give our rating of this movie.
Yes, we got to explain to Nick what this is.
Yeah, so at the end of every movie, we give 3 different awards. One is for your favorite scene in the movie. The second is for your favorite performance in the movie, and the last is the MVP. So that allows you to like put a creator, or sometimes we'll put the person that wrote the score and stuff into it. But it can be
Seal.
Yeah. Yeah. Watch out. I put yeah, so for instance, for Returns, my favorite performance was the Penguins with the rocket strap. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, do you want to kick us off with your favorite scene of this movie?
Sure. I will go let's see. I never prepare these things ahead of time. I should. You think I would know the format by now. Let's just go with the end scene with the two where he's got to pick which one to save, and you got the Riddler doing his game show host voice, which I liked, and it does have the classic setup of like the two people that have like the mouth ties and door number 1, door number 2. It's a classic setup, and I will choose that.
All right.
Nick?
My pick?
Yeah.
How about the 20-minute nude sex scene with Dr. Chase Meridian from the Schumacher cut?
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah.
We turn it into a real 8mm.
Yeah.
Gotta see that movie.
Yeah, it pays to be friends with Kevin Smith. I don't know if you knew that about me. No. I'm actually, I mentioned it earlier. I really like the scene between, I'll just say Batman and Dick in the cave, where he's actively petitioning Batman to be his partner, and he reluctantly agrees. I think that is, to me, maybe not like the most entertaining scene, but it's like the heart of the movie.
I absolutely love that scene. That's a very Luke scene to pick. Dialogue heavy, the best writing of the movie.
Yeah.
So Nick, I'm all on board with that. That's a great scene. Mine also is going to be a dialogue heavy scene, but does feature the first time, like I said, where I was just beaming because Carey is going wild. I'm basically taking from when Bruce Wayne first meets Edward Nygma to him killing Ed Begley Jr. I love that stretch. It's very goofy.
I do like that
It's
too.
very campy. It's a lot of Carey doing his Careyisms.
Yeah.
But it is a ton of fun.
It is. And I feel like he doesn't, I like that character better than once he's Riddler and doing, like, that really works. The beginning of this movie, I wrote a note like, oh, wow, the casting is really good. I was ready for this. I was ready to enjoy this a lot, actually. And I think, then it starts to go into different directions, and it's maybe some issues. But, yeah, that's a great one.
I paused it at where I thought the movie started to sort of fall off, and it was exactly at the 1 hour mark.
Really?
This is like an hour and 50, or actually I think it's like right at 2 hours and like a minute. And yeah, I paused it, and I had the same thought as you. I'm like, man, this first hour is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I agree. It falls off.
Once Schumacher got his gay nightclub scene in, and then the jump cut to the bat butt, he just started phoning in the rest of the movie. He's like, I accomplished what I came to accomplish.
he handed it to the assistant director and was like, "You take this home."
Yeah. Yeah. I gotta go. I got a club to be to.
All right. Best performance. I'll get us kicked off here. We'll go reverse clockwise here. My favorite performance in this movie is going to be Val Kilmer. I think Nick and I might share one here. I think Val Kilmer is the best Batman. I think he's the best Bruce Wayne. He only gets one movie to kind of shine through. But man,
no surprise. The pretense of me joining you guys as a guest today was my love for Val Kilmer and in this movie. So I'm with you as well. Admittedly, as all Batman should be, a little bit understated, but for the same reasons I mentioned earlier, the depth, charisma, charm, looks, the voice, everything, I'm going Kilmer as well. I do want to just note, though, I did see this one shot as I was doing research. It's just a still picture of him with the mask. You weren't wrong. He does look a little bit like Bale, but he's got kind of weird shaped lips.
yes.
Also kind of looks like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead.
A little bit, yes. Yeah. In the eyes, yeah.
No, the lip thing. And you really see it when he's wearing the mask, because like the rest of his good looks kind of like it works when you see his whole face.
He's got that ugly mouth.
But but when you wear the mask, it really because that's
highlights
the part
that
of your
mouth.
mouth.
Yeah.
And I did just want to note that it looks a little bit like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead.
I'm gonna go a little Joel Schumacher here. I think the like kind of crest that his upper lip comes to, I think he's got very kissable lips.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't say Butthead was ugly. So.
I can see why Kidman kisses Batman first and then kisses Bruce Wayne after and then realizes, ooh, that's the same kiss,
that's
baby.
That same
she
set of lips.
she could remember those lips. I'll never forget those lips either.
You can't forget them. I'm gonna go with so I'm torn between two. I do like. I think the performance by Jim Carrey it ultimately kind of messes up the movie, but you are getting prime Jim Carrey doing Jim Carrey things, and he does them well. He's delivering. He is as advertised. But since we're talking about the movie, I will go with Nicole Kidman. Wow. Because I think that she holds things together. I just like, and you know, Jim Carrey's good as Jim Carrey. Val Kilmer's good as Val Kilmer. They're both good, but I was surprised at like just she kind of just held it together and was consistently good and also consistently good for the movie. So like I felt like it was a little bit of glue, if you will, kept things in the middle. And I'm going to go with Nicole Kidman for mine.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think as early into this podcast I would have been singing her praise, and boom, it came out. Like, I love it. It's a great performance.
To die for.
Yeah, and let's all be fair. Like, these aren't, in all the Batman movies, like, these female parts aren't the most
not
well-written.
the meatiest.
Yeah, so I think she does a commendable job.
It does make sense that Academy Award winning Nicole Kidman can come through on this.
She delivers.
All right.
A little better than Kim was it Kim Basinger?
Yeah.
In that first one?
Yeah. Yeah, she
not Academy Award winner Kim
nope,
Basinger.
not quite, but hey, she's good too.
So Chris, your MVP. So this is, you can say someone that's already been mentioned. You can give it somewhere else. Where are you going for the MVP? The person, the thing that stirs the drink of this movie.
McDonald's. No, you know that the marketing was so central. I'm not going to say McDonald's, so I will go and say that the MVP for me was the soundtrack. I can't like I don't want to say Joel Schumacher, okay? Like I just can't. Maybe let's just go with Seal. I'm gonna say Seal. Yep. I mean, if anything, what has lasted forever, right? Like, what do we still have in our lives in 2024? We've got Kiss from a Rose.
You're not wrong.
We're not worried about Jim Carrey as the Riddler. We're not talking about Val Kilmer as Batman, but we are definitely talking about Seal's Kiss from a Rose.
And too, if you're talking about the careers of everybody involved in this film,
catapulted.
The only one who's like peak was this film was Seal.
Yeah.
Like, this is not Jim Carrey's signature performance or Val Kilmer's
Nobody's.
or Joel Schumacher's, but this is Seal's moment.
Seal
this is
hits it.
Peak Seal.
And also
he
just
takes down U2 as the most memorable song from this.
And also a nod to soundtracks of obviously Seal on the soundtrack, because this was a fond period of a fondness I guess I have in life of like when we would track down movie soundtracks for specific B-side songs that of course is a lost art. No one cares about that anymore, but gosh,
did you get the soundtrack from like Columbia House?
Yep.
Your 10 CDs for $1.
Totally. Oh man, that's a
And
whole
then they
nother
just
podcast.
keep charging you.
Yeah. Well, I figured out a way to. I would get my friends at a Catholic school. I went to a Catholic school, and I was a little shit. And I would get my free CDs, and then I would cancel, and I'd be like, hey John, great. You ever heard of this thing called BMG? Here, it's great. See, I'm gonna have 3 CDs of mine sent to your house, but you get 4.
Nice.
It was shitty.
Scamming kids.
I scammed kids. Like, what? This is it. Karma's coming for me. It's already,
The record I remember most from getting that is I got Scorpion's Greatest Hits.
Wow.
With Rock Me Like a Hurricane, No One Like You. I was just rocking out to some German hair metal, baby.
Wow.
The Scorpions transcended hair metal. They were like, they were definitely a hair metal band, but they were like the thinking man's hair metal band.
It also turned me completely off of Nine Inch Nails because I got their album too because I heard that Nine Inch Nails was super cool.
This is too weird.
And I listened to it at 15 and was like, I don't get this at all.
Wait, which album?
Yeah, which
Pretty
one
Hate
is it?
Machine,
It was the
or?
blue one. Blue album? I can't remember. I
So
never
not Downward Spiral.
It was probably the Fragile. He's 33.
Oh, okay.
So this was like 2006.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the wrong one. to
Yeah,
start
no,
with.
that was the one with the hand that feeds. And
Yeah.
yeah. See, I did that for the Downward Spiral in
Was it the
'95, but I was like,
Animal?
I want to understand this. This is what I want to ascribe to be like.
But
Yeah.
that's the wrong place to jump into Nine
Yeah,
Inch Nails.
yeah, you got to go
Yeah.
a little earlier.
Yeah.
So I never got back into Nine Inch Nails, but I do love those guys when they make a movie soundtrack.
Well, it's just Trent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he's
I mean,
good.
Nine Inch Nails is really just Trent. Everybody
True.
else in the band is turned over multiple times.
That's very true. Call Out Challengers is now free on Amazon Prime.
Have you watched it yet?
No. One of these days, maybe I will.
I took
Luke,
the
by the way,
bullet on that movie.
Luke went to that movie solo to see it like opening weekend because we listened to this movie podcast and
Sat
they were
in the back row by myself.
yeah, just ready to watch young hot teens play tennis. And yeah, you got through it. Okay.
Nick, MVP?
Can I say Val Kilmer again?
Yeah.
Sure.
No. that's-
Double
You
up with
can.
Val.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we've hit on. First off, there's not a lot of options for this, right?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Again, while I appreciate what Schumacher tried to do here in an admittedly very difficult position, he's ultimately responsible for this not coming together, so it can't be him. But just to give a shout out to another great performer, I'm gonna go Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah, dude, Bagley rules.
Yeah,
That scene is a lot of fun.
yeah.
He's looking at that big bass through the TV. Ooh. Like, it's so stupid. And it's great. It's a whole lot of fun.
He's telling Edward Nygma to like shut up. He's like, you're fired.
And first of all, you're fired. Hell yeah.
Bagley.
Love it. Uncredited.
They wanted Donald Trump for that, so he could do the "you're fired." But no.
That would have been great. So for my MVP, I'm going to do what I normally do, and that's just completely punt on this and give it to Elliot Goldenthal, who did the
Your second time giving right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I gave it to him for the first Alien movie. The score has been played at the start, but I'll give you a little taste of it right now.
It's good. It's not as iconic as the Elfman one for me, but actually, like, I do remember it. And once it was played, I was like, oh no. And I feel like, could this be in the line, Six Flags line? Like, maybe. I also definitely associate this. I hear that. I do think Batman. He's obviously a great composer.
Great. All right, so let's get into our ratings and final thoughts about the movie. Chris, you're the downer on this pod.
Yeah, downer
Give us-
on this
give us
pod.
the rating.
All right, so we are gonna go with a nice little 6.2. Wait, where did I land last time? Well, I was in the 7s.
We were in the higher 7s.
Yeah. So
on
I'm gonna
returns.
actually, you know what? Okay, I always do this. I always change it. I'm gonna go 5.8.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not good. There's moments that are nice. It's a memorable thing. It's a nice thing in pop culture to talk about. There's a lot of fun things, but ultimately, it sucks. And for me, 5.8.
All right. The man said his piece. Nick?
I'm going to go much higher. I'm going to go 7.2, acknowledging as a cohesive movie, it has a lot of challenges, but again, a lot of great scenes, a lot of very interesting and compelling performances, and it's enjoyable. Like, to sit down and watch, you are entertained, you are not bored in this movie.
You're not bored.
Yeah,
I will give you that. There's always something to watch.
And again, as was alluded to previously, really starts laying some of the seeds for the deeper exploration of Batman. So for those reasons, almost, just for the watchability and what it leads to in the Batman canon, I'm giving it a higher score than it probably deserves as a standalone artifact.
7.2. I love it.
7.2. That's thoughtful, well said. I love it. Great. Let's see what you can top.
I believe I gave 89 a 7.7 or something around there. I gave Returns just a notch lower at 7.6. I think those movies are both pretty good. And this movie, I think, is in the same ballpark. We're going down the ladder just a tad to a 7.5.
Wow.
I, like Nick, think this movie is pretty great.
No, I'm sorry. No, that's good. That's good.
No, I think this movie dies for the sins of Batman and Robin. And I think a lot of people, I've had a lot of conversations about us covering Batman Forever. And every single time when people are like, oh, that movie sucks, they point out something that's from Batman and Robin. And they do it over and over again to the point where I'm like, do you even remember what happens in Batman Forever? Sure. Yes, there's a lot of similar campy, goofy stuff that happens in Forever. But I think people forget about the parts of this movie that are really, really good. And that gets lost in what happened with Batman and Robin, which Joel Schumacher admits is terrible. There was we'll talk about it more, but there was a super fast turnaround because of how successful Forever was. And he got rushed to do it and did a terrible job.
First of all, I apologize.
7.5.
I apologize for laughing when you said it was a great movie. That's disrespectful and that's rude on my part. 7. So, okay, you alluded to the greatness of them setting the table for the lore of Batman and the fun of Jim Carey.
Val Kilmer.
Okay.
As doing an outstanding job as Batman.
Okay.
I think
Nicole Kidman.
I've already talked about the fact that I thought, the female character is better than the Burton written female characters. The action and the fight choreography is better in this movie than any of the Burton movies. I like the set design in this just as much as the Burton movies. I think it's weird, it's phallic, but you can say the same thing about Burton too.
Yeah.
Like this movie, except for Two-Face is bad. It's a bad performance. Some of the goofiness of the Jim Carrey stuff doesn't really work, but I was not bored during one part of this movie. And I was definitely bored during some of the 89 and some of the Return stuff.
I admittedly, even though I think it's good, was bored when they got into talking about his origins as Batman.
See, I love that because we've talked about it over and over. I'm like, oh, this is where Nolan is, pulling from. Like, awesome.
I've heard that story so many times at this point. I'm like, I don't care. But that's like.
But that's now. Keep in mind when this came out, like that is really unaddressed in the Tim Burton, which is weird when you think about Tim Burton allegedly more the auteur, the more seriously taken artist than Schumacher.
He fakes you out in the first scene of 89. He's like, you think I'm going to talk about the death of his parents? But I'm not. It's fine. Like, it is. I mean, great. If it's a serious psychological movie that we were getting at, if this is a dramatic film that we want to make, let's make that. We'll call it Batman Returns. This is just not that. The writing in some of these scenes is so just hokey and shitty. Or, I mean, I'll just say hokey. I don't need to.
Sure.
But, like, and the Robin. Oh, Robin.
He's not that bad.
Yeah,
I thought
again,
it was going to be way worse.
I totally
Again,
agree with your point.
The
It's
bad
other
Robin is coming up.
Sure. I just, and again, even told you this when I was texting you. Maybe I was tired and in a cranky mood. But it was just like, I don't know. I started this off and I was like, yeah, this could be fun. And then by the time we got to the neon, street fight with Robin, I was just annoyed.
Yeah, I think you both made some good points here. One, reputationally, this movie suffers a great deal from the association with Batman and Robin, which I know you're going to get into later. But I will just give it a 2.0 since I go beyond your next podcast. One of the worst films of all time, right? Very close association, came out right after, and yeah. Robin is awful in that one, playing off Batgirl. But the other thing too is this movie doesn't end strong. There are loose ends, and again, like lots of
when
good
them
stuff.
running, the shadows running in slow motion. It's like, oh, that sucks.
But like you said, the first hour is pretty
really
good.
solid.
They don't stick the landing, so I think
But there's still good stuff. There's still the cave. I kind of wish that cave sequence we would have gotten the full Schumacher of it, but. The last thing that I want to say about me thinking that this movie is like seven stars good out of 10 is that you talked about this with the 89 and Batman Returns about having, childhood memories of this. Sure. As I was watching this movie, I'm like, this is for sure the first Batman movie I saw forever. Was the first one. Because I was getting like nostalgic childhood, like me at 10 years old watching Batman Forever being like, I remember this. I remember that. I remember this.
No, I get that. I mean,
like this came out in 95. I was 4 at the time, so I definitely didn't see it when I was 4. But like, I guarantee you, in like 2000, 2001, I'm watching Batman Forever
for sure. And that's a super important thing. And it's actually funny because, like, I was reminded of where I was in life as I was watching this, because I was in like 5th grade. Life was starting to get a little strange for me personally. And it's almost like when you watch it, you can like go back there. And you're like, oh yeah, this is like when some things in my life were starting to get a little trickier. And I had more self-doubt and like shit like that. It's interesting how this all works. And hey, that's the beauty of movies. It's the beauty of film. It's why we're all sitting here doing this today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nick. You've been awesome on this.
We could not have a better first guest. You were thoughtful. You was prepared. And
I love Val Kilmer.
He does love. I mean, this is a high bar, Chris, for
I don't know. I don't know. Like the gauntlet has been thrown down.
You are welcome back for any movie.
Open invitation.
Well, and again, I am not the cinema expert. Either of you are, but if I have strong feelings or opinions on something, I'm always happy to share them. And this movie is that movie for me.
All right. Yeah, we're covering Batman and Robin next week, but for Batman...
I'm going to pass on that one.
I wish I could too.
For Batman Forever, thank you, Chris, and we'll see you guys soon.
See ya.